now I have the courage to put on my glasses because I see you also using a ring light, and
I'm using a ring light, and
yeah, so,
and the other thing is ke blinding yana. So
oh yeah, so I see that the ring light is not really messing your style. So Lena, it won't mess my style.
no, it won't. It won't.
Yeah.
So can we just begin so that we'll be done at 7:30 because I know you guys need to leave by 7:30. Right?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So you look like I intro, then they'll probably edit out the parts. It would
Okay.
wow. So
Okay.
Dumelang Africa Borwa a matle ka lebitso ke nna Roali M, and welcome to Leafrinica. Happy Heritage Month. Ke letsatsi ke kgwedi ya botjhaba ba rona, and I just hope that everyone is embracing their cultures, their mother tongue. I know English and Western cultures are dope, mara our mother tongue and cultures are more cooler. So again,
Yes.
and today we are joined by two amazing, talented people. Kinzika, le the drum pope. Kim papa wa morupa, kapo mupapa.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Papa wa Meropa, yes. It's the one.
Mopapa wa morupa. Yebo. So together they call themselves Prayer Warriors, which is a very deep name. Like it's wow. So Kiaridume Sababuti, how are you?
Hello, Muradi.
How are you guys?
How are you?
We're doing great.
That's lovely. Le rona re itumetse go bana le wena gompieno.
Gompieno. Yo nna in my language you say kajeno. Re thabetse go bana le wena
kajeno.
Yeah.
Oh, re itumela go ba le wena kajeno.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let's get into it. I want to start by the name Prayer Warriors. So that's a very, I don't think anyone thinks of calling themselves the Prayer Warrior. It's a name that you hear at church. Prayer Warriors are people who lay hands on the others and then demons and it's a whole thing. Why the name Prayer Warriors?
So I think Rona, from the moment we met late Drum Pope, we met through the legendary Oskido. And when we started working, he was an engineer at Oskido Studio. When we were busy working on other projects, I realized that I was connecting more spiritually, because he took music, gave it the same respect that I give music. He was so intentional with every little thing that he did, even snare, even the drum that he would select for that production. I was like, this guy is so finicky. He's almost OCD, much like me, And I remember just thinking to myself, and then I voiced it out. I said, Drum Pope, one day we must work together, fun. And then he out of nowhere, he said, yes, we should. And this is closer to the end of 2021. So December 2021, we rekindled the conversation, and I'm like, Drum Pope, I know which sound we must go for. Let's go Afro House, let's go Afro Tech. And he's like, that's my cup of tea, because now he had told me about the productions that he had done for other artists that are, and I'm like, oh, this sound all along, these artists were taking credit for it, but Drum Pope was the one making it. So I was like, yes, let's go into that avenue and let's just go ham. And fast forward to then 2022 in Jan, within a week, we had finished the EP. And the theme of the album, of the EP itself, when we look at the first track, what's the first track, Konje Popo?
Masithandaze.
So, Muradi, from the first song, it's Masithandaze, and it carries themes of praying. And there's a track titled Kamaku, there's a track titled Amen, there's a track titled Baba Credo Mutua's Chant, there's a track titled Nguwe, Oh my word. And when I think about it, I was like, oh yes, these themes are already, oh yes, there's also another one titled Yes Amoya. Oh my goodness. And we realized that we were onto something. And these were just prayers in different forms, in how Batu, as in Batu, you know, how our African people relate to God and how they acknowledge their ancestors. We then realized that we are literally praying. We are not just doing an EP, but this is a prayer. I can see us on global stages just praying, just taking on Webong Khono Barona in the apostolic churches, from all these Zion churches, from Batu that were using water to heal people, you know, that would pray over water. And when you speak about Bong Khono Barona, you know, or even back then, they would be asked by villages if we would be experiencing drought. Bomme in the village, Bongfone, they would be the ones that are ascending mountains to go pray. And when they come back to the villages, Pula would just fall, you know, hard. And that's them praying. And when we say in the songs, especially in Velingangi, Pesguentaba, emafini phakathi emphefumulweni wami phansi kwamanzi uthando lubanzi, that's where we are saying we know that our forefathers knew where God lived.
What happened?
God lived everywhere, you know, lived under the water. He continues to live in the clouds, lives inside us. And this is beautiful. And then the name Prayer Warrior just came like a dream. And I remember just waking up telling Drum Pope that I have a name for us, my man. And when I said Prayer Warriors, we did not even argue.
Is it? So are you guys like spiritual people? Because I was reading somewhere, and then you guys were emphasizing on African spirituality. So is it a lifestyle that you guys live, or it only started when you started working on the project Kapolona? It's an everyday thing. You believe in African spirituality. It's something that you resonate with.
So it is something that we resonate with. It's something that we've always resonated with. This is something also that's interesting. When we wanted to find a date to release the EP, we knew the significance of number 7, which is a holy number, right? We have 7 continents, we have 7 days of the week, we have God created the world and everything we know in 6 days, and then on the 7th day he rested. So there's emphasis on the number 7, you know. So we also have 7 songs in the EP. So going into the EP, we were already intentional beings, because you look at what Drum Pope does on his own, and you look at the music that I've gifted the world with on my own. There's a spiritual thread, and you cannot just. I always say this: you can never fake energy. You can never fake who you are spiritually. You know. So if it does not speak to you, then don't even try fake it, because it won't translate. Rona, it resonates with people because we live this thing. We don't just pray, we are prayers. We don't just do music, we are music, you know? Exactly. So for now, it's not even a lifestyle. I think the word lifestyle is also just like, it doesn't carry that, you know, for
I get you.
It's who we are. It's who we are. Yes. Yeah.
So I listened to, today I've actually been listening to, I don't know how to pronounce it, Mvelinga,
yes.
And Bona. It was on repeat, right? And listening to that, I had a picture, an image of how your music sounds like. I didn't listen to other tracks, I just listened to a few, right? And I'm a visual person, so for me, I saw like someone like releasing a very deep burp and being like, yo, Tokoza. And someone going like, you know, like that groove, when you play that tribal house, you know, things do happen. And I was like, it's taking me there. People will definitely go into trance. I even said to my husband, I don't think people should listen to this EP if via the dating, because imagine if you're in the car with your guy and then the song is played, you get it. I resonated with it, and that's how I saw your music. But from you, the people who created the whole project, how do you describe the sound? How do you describe the music?
drum pop.
Okay, the best way to describe the sound is that we wanted, like Unsika said earlier on, go to ga batla go cross the bridge and then connect to countries or whatsoever, like re batla crosser to Europe ka sound that one, so refuse it some future sounds for Europe and then radifusale element that's African or one for people to connect it. Yeah, but connect ka music. It doesn't necessarily mean or you need to understand the language or whatsoever, but music if you want to connect mafatsa or one through music. So give fusion, yeah. European sounds, tech, and also African.
Yeah. So Lidita, is it the genre?
It's Afro-tech.
I just want to point that, right? Because probably I'm not exposed to a whole lot of genres. Mara Lidita, because for me, it's something that I'm not familiar with. Mara, it's a sound I like. I'm keeping it to describe it.
Best way to describe it is Afro-tech. Because we have tech elements and then also to that music, you know, which is like Afro kamohar. So it's tech le Afro. So it's Afro tech.
Oh, it's Afro tech. Well, today I learned something. I love it. It's a beautiful body of work, and now hearing the story behind the 7 tracks, the main prayer warriors, indeed, then you know.
Yes.
So then it means that people can it will take people into trance. Listening to the project will literally take people into trance, meaning that when people are in trance, you get a certain type of healing that you don't get from the physical world. As a person who knows how do I feel when I'm in trance, right? So I know it's something that I can't describe. This is how you feel. It's only known by people.
For like a music.
And then you are giving other people who do not have maybe the ability to go on trance because there are certain things on their body or even their spirituality. But each and every single person then will be able to go to that realm through the music that you guys have gifted us with.
Oh, Muradi, so, you are coining it. You are coining it so beautifully. I sit here and I'm in awe of what you are saying. You know, I sit here and I realize that what we are trying to communicate, it has already been done. Like if it resonates with you and you are packaging it with your words, like you are saying it now, it means we are good. Like we are what we set out to do. It has already been done. I remember we performed just now at Drum Pop's homecoming in Pretoria inside Propaganda. And even the time slot that was given to us was 12 midnight. And if you know, you know. And they said, if we run late, then your time slot will be 3, And if you know 3 a.m., like it's always intentional. It's so beautiful.
If that's not God, I don't know.
Yeah, if that's not God, I don't know. And I feel like it will also open up other avenues to let people know that our African spirituality is beautiful. It's our inherent gift, And this Prayer Waters EP will also just be there as a book of knowledge that people can go to, because there's a song, Imasithandazeni, that says, "Cela ningilethele amakhandlela amhlophe," "Ngicela ningibizeleni abomama besambatho." Like it's so, oh my word. And even though we don't say how many candles, but we know there's 7 candles that we are asking for. You look at the candle stand, go. There's 7. Yeah. There's 7. Like it's such a beautiful thing. And I like it when you say people will be transfixed. Others will go into trance. others will burp. Babang, they will yawn non-stop because they travel with Ingiloses as a
Even
muffin.
those who believe
Others,
in tongues,
yes,
they will start speaking in tongues. That's what I believe.
yes, yes. And I love it
That's
because
beautiful.
we saw a snippet of it at Drum Pope's show. We performed the
Mhm.
music and people were just stationary. You expect them to dance, but when you looked closely, people were just vibrating. There was just vibration that was happening. Babang, they were just saying, "Gamaku, gamak." Babang, they were praying in their own corners. Babang, they were, and you're like, this is beautiful when we don't reduce God
Beautiful.
to a certain text, you know, when we just experience God for who he is and how abundant he is in our lives, you know, and how our forefathers used to see God. And if we decide to see God in the way that our forefathers used to see God, then it's also cool, you know, it's also beautiful.
Exactly.
Ah, my word.
Can I share what happened to me? Is that
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I woke up in the morning, normally when I wake up, I would make my bed, you know, the whole routine. Mara, I think I made a mistake of starting my day with listening to Mveli Ngagi, if I'm pronouncing it well.
Very nice. Yes.
While I was making the bed, it was playing. And I'm like, hi, man. Baby, and the baby should be prepared for school.
Yes.
And I just kept on repeating. Today, when my baby went out of the house to go to a transport, I was like,
Yes.
let her be covered with all the protection that is there.
Ah.
You know, I guess something was just ignited. I only pray when I'm on my way to work. You know, that's an open. Mara, today it
Yes.
was like, something was just, you know, when you want to pray, Mara, you are in a setting that doesn't allow you to pray aloud.
Yes.
Something,
Yes.
you can drink in and burp it out. Do you understand?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it was,
Yes.
I was in my house, I was just like, yo, can Bona, I am here, my heart, I'm okay, I'm in a safe space. Can I just listen to this song for the whole day?
It's
And
beautiful.
and
That's
even this
beautiful.
interview is not going the way I have planned it, because I feel
Mm.
like this maybe is somehow a spiritual.
It is.
I can say
It
the way
is.
it's a spirituality, right?
It
It's not.
is.
I'm not even
It
asking
is.
the questions that I was supposed to ask, to be honest. And I
That's
just hope that I
beautiful.
don't get in trouble for that. Mara,
That's
it's
right.
that's a revelation. I think I want to listen to the whole 7 tracks, and what I would just say to you that it's a revelation that we have been waiting for, especially
Oh
the
my
youth in
goodness.
South Africa, right? I'm getting the goosebumps, especially the youth
Oh
of
my
South
goodness.
Africa, because we are at a moment whereby things are so sad for us. You know, we feel unheard, we feel unseen, we are not accepted for who we are, you know. We are living to standards that are not authentically ours. And that's exhausting, you
True.
know. I go to work, right? I'm a therapist, but I am told how to do my work. As much as sometimes I see my client and this person, the only thing that can heal them is prayer. Mara, I'm not able to tell them because profession does not allow me to do that.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I am crossing the ethnic principles of my profession. Mara, what you guys are doing, it's a revelation to say that we can pray but also sound cool. We can pray but also look cool, you know. People feel like being cool, you have to look a certain way, you need to talk a certain way. Mara, it's okay to be African and cool. It's okay to speak
Yes,
Sotho
it is.
and be an intellect, because if Sotho kapo Xhosa and you
Completely.
make music ka Xhosa or Zulu, I assume
Are you still there, Mama?
Yes, I'm still there. Ntsika?
Yes, I'm back. Sorry.
All right. So I was saying that people, because Batubayets music in their native languages or mother tongues, we assume you're not smart enough. Because we're not how we the relevance to who, right? And it's something that normally I get backlash at that day. I know it might not even be related to to your word. Mara, that's a revelation that I got today. I was like, the way I am, the way I'm authentic and just how it is. I'm fine with being me, guys.
Yes.
If people who I come from the same soil with and we are breathing the same South African air can move me in this way, then I'm done.
They're done. Oh my word, that's
Wow, that's
beautiful.
beautiful.
What a revelation, Muradi, and thank you so
Yeah.
much for sharing. You know, and it's for me, what you are saying, we find ourselves in an environment that is social politically influenced. There's also elements of colonialism as well, you know. But
Yeah.
when we tap into our spirituality, no one has a blueprint for us, but we know that we have people that walk with us that are not seen by eyes of the flesh, you know, that have the blueprint for us. That's why we have dreams. That's why we have visions. That's why we relate to God the way we do. That's why we go past that and burn incense. That's why we, but no one taught us that. But you are told in a dream that Muradi, wake up the next morning and go buy Ipai Eliso. And you see it vividly in your dreams, and then you go out and then they tell Trump, next week you must go and yotungisa ijazz lasezioni eligreen. But you know, it's beautiful how we get all these things. And these songs, they come in a same way. They come in a similar fashion because these do not take this westernized format of sitting down and writing music. No, it's a surge. It's a spiritual thing that hits you midnight, and then I have to leave my wife and say, I'm coming back. I need to record this melody before
My
it
husband makes
escapes.
music and he does that.
You know,
I know that.
so my wife even
He makes
has,
sound.
yes.
And then he would wake up after like some nice cuddle times and he's like, oh, can I be the
Yes, that's me. That's me right there. So you know the struggle my
Wake
wife
up at
goes through.
3.
So yeah, I love how also we submit myself and Drampo, you know, taking people into your spiritual confidence. It's not an easy thing, you know.
It's not
As
easy.
when you look at healers that have dipleke tsa bone indumbe where they consult, you know. No one does videos out of nowhere and post on Instagram. Why? Because that space is sacred, you know. It's so sacred. But
Hence, you
Rona,
even take off your shoes before you enter.
yes, you take off your shoes before you enter. So Rona, because we heal through music, every other stage is our ndumbe. That's where we heal from. Every other stage is our pulpit. That's where we preach from. Every other stage is a sacred space, you know. And I love the fact that we took it upon ourselves to be submissive and allow ourselves to be vulnerable and share that space, that sacred space with people, with the rest of the world. Why? Because we know that generations to come, there will be new Trump hopes, there will be new Muradis, young and seekers in the future. They will come back to these interviews, they will come back to these songs, and they will find themselves and say, Kuku Muradi also had this. So then it means I'm not crazy, you know. It means that I do have a home. This has a home in our family, and then they will take it on. This is our calling, Muradi. This is not us doing music. This is our calling, and we are going to heal. Trust me. From all
And
the
you
way
are
to
that.
Egypt, all the way to UK, we are going to heal with this music.
And definitely you are. And you just made me remember. So I remember there was someone who was, I think they had to go to and I
Yes.
had to write a report and state who this person is schizophrenic, when I did the hallucination, they're hearing things. And that was the most difficult thing for me to do. Because I knew Hana the hallucination. What they are seeing or hearing, it's valid. It's part of our African practices, right?
Mm.
However, as I stated, that the profession does not allow you to do that. And till today, I still live with the guilt because I wrote the report for them to be sent to a psychiatric hospital because they're not well. And it's something that I even struggle to forgive myself for because I knew what they were going through, but I was still new in the profession, right? So I was doing all what my bosses were telling me to do. But because we have people like me and you now discussing topics like African spirituality, now creating music to accommodate us, not even to accommodate us, to accept us.
Yes.
Us. I am happy because even if in the next 50 decades, kids who will be psychologists and therapists will now have a curriculum whereby they are taught about African spirituality. And things like the schizophrenia and what wouldn't be part of the context that is now seen as it's. Everyone is talking about it, but they didn't have to honor, right? But I'm very thankful, even though the interview didn't go the way I planned it to.
Trust me, it went exactly where it was meant to go. So don't even.
And I said before, and I said, God, let my time be occupied by your angels, and I will say what you want me to say, and what people who are going through the very same things that we as the South African youth and the world at large need to hear. And I think it did that. Even for me,
wow, thank you.
in English, I'm at ease.
Yes. There is a filler that has that word.
What?
What does that filler say?
Joko ya how baby.
Yeah, Joko ya how you baby. Yes. You just gave us an idea for the second EP. Yeah.
So thinking 7 minutes of your time, and I do apologize, but talking to you today, it was necessary. Trust me, very necessary. And whatever the intention for this project, I pray that it does exactly what you have envisioned and for doing that, God and the forefathers, and Abogogo, they will do more than what the mind can think of or the eye can see for you guys, because you answered what I had questions for. You healed a place in me that I couldn't forgive myself for, but today I did.
Yes.
Right? Like the report thing that I told you about. Sharp, because I can see that we as Black people are going in the right direction.
Yes.
And from today on, when I go, goodbye. A great person, Galewo.
No, you are such a great person yourself. It takes one to see one. I feel like we think it was an interview, but it certainly is not. You know, it's doing something for me. It's doing something for you, and it's also doing something for Drum Pop. And I'm glad that you shared with us that it is actually just freeing you from something that you had hold on for such a long time, and we deserve to forgive ourselves. You know, we are in a spiritual journey, but we are also amazing parts along the way in other people's journeys as well. That's why we cross paths. So don't be too hard on yourself. Everything happens the way it should. And this interview happened, and it gave you something that you know in your spirit made forever just ignite that beautiful thing that's happening inside you.
Ooh, like it was so amazing. I don't know, it was amazing. And I hope
no, sharp. This is what we wanted. That's why we created this new link, just to say sharp in a good way, you know.
Yeah, that's right. And Bona, you perform a guy happy. When are you performing next?
We will definitely let you know, but we are getting inquiries already. So as soon as we confirm, we'll definitely
if
give
it's
you
like
the
an open it's an open event, Definitely, I will definitely be there. Even if it's Busibu, I'll be there.
Okay, cool.
Definitely
That's
need
fine.
someone.
Even if it's a closed event, we'll ask Tuli to extend an invite.
Yeah, please do. Like, literally, I need to come. Yo,
Mm.
ke batla ho ba da. And I
No,
normally
you
don't
will.
even say that. Mara,
Yeah.
ke batla ho ba da.
Yeah, I know. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Muradi. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
Papa.
Oh, Mupapa Utamaile. I think he's struggling with connection.
I think literally just I think at 7. So ke sebedisa
Yes.
solar.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Ke sebedisa solar.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, cool. No, I will. Thank you so much. Please send our love to
Thank
your
you very
family as
much.
well.
I will definitely, to you too, and all the best. And Bona, we are team prayer warriors forever. Mara, are you going to like have other projects? It was just collaboration for now.
No, it's a duo now, forever. So there'll be more projects together.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
I'm happy to
Muradi.
hear it. All right.
Okay, cool.